Hello, welcome to Community Connections. My name is Jane Powell. This is brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, and it is a program showcasing community involvement. Today our guest is Alex Alston. He is President and CEO of Roark Sullivan Lifeway Centers. Welcome, Alex. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks for having me.
So I have so many questions today. Let's begin with tell me what is and what does Roark Sullivan Lifeway Center do?
Well, the Roark Sullivan Lifeway Center, we're a small nonprofit located here in the Charleston area. We've been around since the early 1980s, and our mission is to assist those that are either currently homeless or maybe at risk of becoming homeless. The backstory on our agency, we started as a grassroots agency, just a group of individuals driving around town. They were concerned about people that might be sleeping on the streets and might be at danger at wintertime. So they started really picking up individuals and taking them to makeshift shelters around town. The agency grew. We found a permanent location in the early 80s, and really we've grown from there. The focus of our programs is always going to be about homelessness and trying to end homelessness. And what we've expanded to is from those humble beginnings of just a few individuals and a pickup truck. We've now got a men's emergency shelter. We've got a number of transitional living programs and some permanent housing programs as well.
So when we talk about the homeless population, Roark Sullivan deals with the male population, is that correct?
Primarily. We do have some programs for females and some for households, but our primary demographic is going to be single males.
Okay, and that would be 18 and above?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there something that makes it unique?
Well, Roark Sullivan is a very unique organization, and I said, I told you earlier we started as a grassroots organization, and we still very much are. The vast majority of our resources are really hands-on programs that we're really delivering to people where they are. We're trying to find individuals that may not know about our programs, that may be sleeping on the streets or staying doubled up in some locations, and we're going to go try and find them and bring them to our programs. We're also really unique, in the fact that the homeless service field is very unique. We are trying to end homelessness, and if we're successful at what we're doing, we're actually trying to put ourselves out of work. And our ultimate goal is to help individuals become independent, and to do that, we really would be successful if we were able to put ourselves completely out of business.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a great thing?
It would be a wonderful time to be able to shift our focus to something else.
Yeah. So when we talk about homelessness and being out of business, you tell me you're beginning to see a difference.
We are, and we've been able to focus quite a few programs recently on our veterans' problems and our veterans' homelessness issues. And I remember 6 years ago we did not have any specific veteran homelessness programs in the Charleston area. We started working very closely with the Veterans Administration located in Huntington, and we were able to bring quite a few resources to this area. We currently operate a service center, which is for any veteran in the community. They can come in to get anything as simple as a shower, a hot cup of coffee, or access to VA staff, access to a number of programs and services we have that can help them find housing. We also have opened up transitional living programs for veterans and some supportive housing programs that can really either rapidly house individuals or help prevent them from becoming homeless in the first place. And what we've seen with these programs and with this focused push that we've been able to do is we went from 2006, when about 30% of our population in our shelter were homeless veterans, to today where it may be 2%. Wow. And those 2% already have a location lined up and a place to go. They're just there while they're working their way through a waiting list or through a process to get into another program. It really has made a difference.
You are making a difference. And you stay involved in their lives. So once they leave your shelter, you still have contact with them. And there's programs that can help them. Is that right?
That's correct. And that's one of the most important things about what we do. We're not just there to be just a shelter to get someone off the streets. We really want to promote independence. And some of the best ways we've seen is to really, once you help someone get into a housing situation, into somewhere more independent, is really help provide the services they may need to help wrap around and create that independence that people really want. Our program is really full of hands up and not a lot of hands out, and we're there really to support people long term, and ideally they won't need us anymore.
Yeah. And so another thing you offer them in that transitional is permanence. You can give them an address and a place that they can leave their things. I mean, it's their home.
Absolutely, and people have a stereotypical image of what a shelter is and what a homeless program is, and our place is a little bit different. It's not a place where you come in and you only get a meal and a bed to sleep and you have to leave during the day. It's a place where you come in and that's your bed. That becomes your temporary residence. It will be there, and our motto, we don't have a length of stay limit. We tell people as long as you're working on leaving, you're welcome to stay. And we really try to help people get to where it's going to be more permanent and where it's going to be the best solution for them.
So let's talk about how many people that you service. How many beds? How many people are you feeding, or who's taking a shower there? Just the numbers. I think that we're all curious. We know it's getting better, but it's still significant.
Gotcha. And what we're seeing out of our emergency shelter program, which is our largest program, that's a 60-bed program,
Okay.
and we stay full almost 365 days a year, and most of those days we're going to have some extra individuals over and above. We're on what's called overflow. We'll take individuals in beyond their bed capacity just so they're off the streets, so it's a safer environment. Very similar numbers to that is what we're going to see as far as coming in for food. People are welcome to come in whether they're staying with us or not to eat dinner with us each day. And access our laundry services, access those kind of things. Those are things that we've got open for everyone. Now we have, across all of our programs, we have 102 beds. Some of those are permanent housing, supportive beds. Some of those are transitional.
Okay.
But we stay full, all of those beds, pretty much year round.
And so we talked just a little bit because I think, and we'll use, I would think that maybe the weather would affect that, but you say no, that you don't really see the flux in the very hot or the very cold.
Right, and we don't typically see an increase in the hot summer months or in the cold winter months. That seems to be the month that we get the most news stories. The news will come out and want to do a human interest story about how are you dealing with the cold, and it really is a year-round issue. Homelessness is not about the weather. It's not about other external factors. It's purely about someone needing a place to call their own.
Yeah, well, really very nice. Tell me some more about the veterans. You have a veterans center, it's there, and we talked about you see new faces consistently.
Correct. We've been open there since 2008. Our Veterans Service Center is located on 1015 Smith Street, so right across from Capital Market. And that program, it's open for any veteran in the community. Anyone can come in to access any services we have there. The interesting thing is we designed that program and built it for the individuals we knew. We built it for the 40 to 50 individuals that we really expected we'd see for a long period of time. Those individuals got what they needed, moved on in their own places, and have stayed there. The interesting thing to us is that we keep seeing new people show up. We see approximately 10 to 12 people new each month that we've never met before. And our goal is to keep working them through the program so that they won't need us in the forever, such as the people we designed the program for.
So with all of this, with the Veterans Center and meals and showers and 110 beds, you need funding.
We do.
So tell us where that comes from, what you do to raise the money, and the volunteers that help. I'm thinking it takes an army.
It can at times, that's for sure. And the vast majority of our funding is grant funding. The funding is coming through state, federal sources, through some local sources. We also have some foundations, such as the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, which is very generous.
Thank you.
They actually provide the resources for a really cool program we have, which is our nursing program. It provides a nurse that we share with Sojourner Shelter, with the YWCA, and she's been a great resource for this community. But volunteers are always needed. The ability to help us plan events, help us provide services, help us provide the meals. Those are, it's really a good way to get, access and knowledge about what this community has beyond what we normally see every day. We have some fundraising events that we operate as well. And, We've got our big one is coming up in May. That's our Night at the Races. It's a Kentucky Derby themed fundraiser, and it's just a really fun event. And
Do people wear hats?
people wear large hats. They really, they participate in the race and just have a lot of fun. And it's a really good way to have a good time, but support a good local nonprofit at the same time.
Right. So for volunteers or anybody that may want to make a donation, I think we have a phone number that they could get in touch with your office, and that would be 681-205-8920. There, it's on the screen. And that would be anybody that wanted to help with any of your programs. And social media.
Exactly.
And a website, is that right?
Absolutely. And please like us on Facebook, and you'll see everything that we have to offer and everything we have going on. And you can connect with us if maybe you had some opportunities. You had some, individuals from churches, local schools that like to get involved and really connect with us, and we can find good ways to make that happen.
Okay, and so the website is rslwc.org, Roark Sullivan Lifeway Center.org, the initials.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So a great place to find information and to follow up on anything. So yeah. So we talked about your fundraisers and in your programs. And just remind me again, tell us again the overall mission.
The overall mission is, our mission statement is to assist those who are experiencing or at risk of experiencing homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
And our overall mission, our overall goal is to end homelessness. That is something that we're working very hard for every day. I think it's a very noble goal. Has proven very difficult to attain so far, but it's one that we have high hopes we're going to be able to achieve and really make some progress towards.
Alec, thank you. You've been great to help us. We've learned a lot about Roark Sullivan Lifeway Center. We know that we can get information through the website, or we can call 681-205-8920 for more information about ways to make donations and ways to volunteer, and go through the website, through social media. There's lots of ways to contact you. You can't hide from us. We'll find you, find a way to help you. You're making a difference. I love that, with veterans and with the adult male population that is at risk or that is currently homeless. So it's very important, and you're giving them what I feel is a sense of dignity in their lives, and helping them respect themselves to start that new path, and then following up with them. So it's quite an accomplishment, and I know it's a mission. And you have been doing it for a very long time now.
I have, yes, ma'am. I've been here in my current role for the past 8 years. Now, I had been here previously for a couple of years as a case manager. So there's not a lot of jobs with the agency. I haven't had it one time or another.
So rumor has it you were there and you left for a little bit and you missed it and you came back.
I did. I really did. It sounds odd to say, but I really did find my home with the homeless program. It really fit, and I missed it when I was gone. There was something that just kept tugging me back.
That's great. So people like you, we're very fortunate to have you running such a great program. Lots of ways to get in touch. Please check out the Facebook page or the website. And we're so glad you joined us today. It's Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. Hope you see us again.